What is up, everybody? Happy Monday to you. I hope that you are enjoying your day. You know, I always say this, the world is crazy. The world is crazy. And I think the older I get, the crazier the world seems to get. I feel like generation after generation, this nation is going in the toilet. Like it just feels that way. It's just, there's so much sensationalism going on. So, Trump had a second attempt on his life. Um, I'm a little shocked, but supposedly this is what the news is saying that a gunman was close to Trump because he's not sitting president. And apparently, this guy who attempted to kill Trump has some really sketchy background. This guy, Routh is his last name, had previously spoken to the New York Times about his effort to recruit Afghan soldiers who fled the Taliban to fight in Ukraine. At the time of the report, which was published March 25th, 2023, so Roth told the New York. So this guy is really knee deep in what I would say maybe some more democratic ideological thinking tanks. And it's so funny because I posted on X like, wow, somebody attempted to kill Trump again, right? And this lady, she's a Democrat, she immediately blamed it on MAGA. And she was like, it's probably a MAGA gun nut. And I'm like, are you stupid? Like, some people just say the dumbest things. Like, they just want to say something, they want to attribute something, they're on a bandwagon of ignorance. And she goes, MAGA gun nuts have no bounds. And so originally when she said it, she goes, probably another MAGA gun nut. No one is safe from AR MAGA gun nut crime wave, not kids in school or former president, right? So she's automatically saying that this is somebody in Trump's base. So I say, it's crazy that people from his own base would try to end their God because let's face it, a lot of people in Trump's base, Trump is a deity, right? So, I'm just like, why would the first thing somebody go to is that somebody from his own base would try to take him out? I mean, it's so illogical and nonsensical to me on so many different levels. And it's like, you must be completely oblivious to the notion of, you know, these people that people, the United States actually, we do have a history of people taking out political opponents. Like the United States operate a lot like Rome. If you actually go back, look at the history of Rome, look at the Roman government, right? They had a lot of, you know, different factions within Rome, and those factions, obviously, they were riddled with their own ideological belief systems. And there was a lot of scheming in the government of Rome. They had assassination attempts in the Roman government. And America operates just like Rome. We are literally Rome reincarnated. We are actually failing the same way as the Roman Empire. So she said, MAGA gun nuts have no bounds. And I told her, I said, personally, I think it's the establishment. It has nothing to do with the people in MAGA. The Democrats have the KKK on call during political cycles as a psyop. I doubt if these attempts are coming from his own base. To me, it's less logical than believing that Dems and rhinos are behind this, right? And one would like, and this is all speculation. We're all trying to figure out, obviously we know that they don't want Trump to be in office, but obviously Trump must have some policies in mind, or his base is that intimidating that they have to take him out. Like they can't have a populace like this because for some people, I think some of these Democrats, they're see like they feel like they see the reincarnation of Hitler and Trump, right? Because you think about it, nobody in America, at least in my lifetime, not one politician, and even with the hype over Barack Obama, Obama still did not, at least, have the just populace, on his side, like Trump does and has, and that is very scary for an establishment order. And I think, a lot of times you know, I think my mom used to say, tell me, show me who your friends are and I'll show you who you are. And the sucky thing about Trump is that there are certain individuals, not all in his base, that uphold ideas that are very threatening to the democratic order. It's very threatening, right? Even if you have, because you got to look at, Trump's base, you have your traditional Republicans, right? These are the people we believe in traditional America, fair markets, God, faith, and family. We want to go back to the ideas that made America great and made American society great, right? Then you have these, like this little segment of MAGA that Hillary Clinton called deplorables. These are the lower intelligent individuals from a lot of times from these rural areas, right? And they uphold white supremacist mindsets, right? So you have this group of white people who are like, no, we're Americans. We're all Americans. We need to love each other. We need to coexist, right? That's one part of MAGA. The other part is we hate blacks and Jews, right? And that particular segment of MAGA has a voice. And their voices comes in the form of a lot of these fringe influencers, a lot of these people who are just like running around like Knights Templar, right? Those people have a voice, right? And so I think that with the establishment order, if it is the way Candace Owens likes to narrate it, Trump is actually a bigger threat than a lot of people realize. If he is completely removed from these establishment order and he truly is a guy that's strictly America first, he is a threat. He is a threat because if you look at kind of how America has been playing out, right, it is very obvious that there has been a keen interest on demoralizing and devaluing this nation. And we have been distracted with all these struggle junkie little movements, not realizing that that stuff was happening to us, right? We have been demoralized, right? And I think, when Obama came in, right, you know, like Fruity Loop president and ambiguous as hell with his wife, he started really super infusing a lot of this, sort of chaotic focus into America, right? America should have been focused on the economy at least since Obama, right? Because when you look at it in the early 90s, right, you had Democrat, Republican administrations. We were $3 trillion in debt when our national debt was $3 trillion when Bill Clinton was president. I was like in the second grade, I remember. And everybody kept bragging about the Clinton economy. And I don't know what Bill Clinton was doing, but I will say that in comparison to what the subsequent administrations have done after Bill Clinton, right? I can't say that, they were very favorable to America. And despite what you may think about Bill Clinton, There was definitely some policies under the Clinton administration that I did not like. I don't feel, and maybe that was just the beginning of the end, so we didn't feel so short squeezed economically. But regardless, if Trump is trying to bring back American fundamentals, that is a huge threat to an establishment order who is trying to get more into the era of the Antichrist, where they can kind of control how people buy and sell and transact, and how even they can move in society, right? If they don't have this mark of the beast, if you will, right? So if it got to be from your deeds or your mindset. You have to be completely on code with the beast, right? And if you're not on code with the beast is going to make it very hard for you. And we see how some of these people have played out since 2020, where, again, you look at Canada, how they just shut off those truckers, right? How they have just literally leveraged different systems in America to force people to be compliant. Look at these social media companies, right? They are censoring people left and right. And if you are a person who's into digital marketing, you understand that social media a lot of times is people's bread and butter. You move your business forward if you're leveraging social media in your business strategy. So if you have these platforms that through these democratic machines and these orders are trying to suppress people, right? That's very, very problematic. And Trump has dealt with enough of that. Hell, he had to go out and create his own platform, right? It is very clear that Trump is giving anti-establishment. I wasn't even really for sure how to think about Donald Trump, because at first I thought maybe he was a psyop. But my whole thing is, the more they try to kill him, the more I'm like, that guy must be for America. That guy must be for America if they are trying to take him out the game. Like, that guy must be, I think, like, he must be in our favor instead of the people overseas, because I just don't understand these efforts to keep taking this man out. I've never in my lifetime have seen and experienced a political candidate go through what Donald Trump has gone through. I've never seen it. It's very disgraceful in so many different ways. It's very scary to see how the justice systems and the different systems in the United States can be weaponized against somebody. But I just think it's very concerning for people. Like, it doesn't really help people who are anti-establishment. It doesn't motivate them when it's almost like I see these assassination attempts on Trump as a message to anybody like Trump. Don't even think about rising, or it's going to be a risk to your life. Like, honestly, Trump at this point, staying in the game, he's risking his life for America. Like, I mean, I don't like, I mean, honestly, this dude is willing to die for this country. He's willing to take bullets for this country. There's no way around it, because I mean, even that first assassination attempt, like, I gotta tell you, like, the way that Trump had emotional control post that situation, because he could have been panicking, he could have victimized himself or whatever. He really presented that like a soldier. Like, this is like, I feel like Trump is like, he feel like there's a war going on that has not been spoken, right? And he already know that bullets might get to busting, right? But he's taking these hits like an OG, and that just tells me that Trump has a greater passion for America than any of these people that are in these establishments that are against him. And they need to prove us wrong on that, because somebody keep trying to kill him, and I'm not going to buy that it's some gun nut from MAGA. I won't buy that. I refuse to. That is the dumbest excuse to put on the table. It is just the dumbest excuse to put on the table, right? And I think it's kind of queer that this person who tried to shoot Trump, like, I just think it's all weird. Bro literally was doing interviews with the New York Times as of March 2023. Like, this dude is linked to Democratic media in some way. And the story that they were covering with this dude was him trying to recruit Afghan soldiers who fled the Taliban to fight in Ukraine. This is the dude that supposedly, allegedly, tried to take out Trump. It is a battle of good and evil. People don't realize this. It's so much bigger than what people see, though, right? People think of good and evil in terms of fleshly men and what they're doing. This is the war of the spirits, definitely translate into what happens on this earth. And I don't think people are very conscious of that. People who have spiritual discernment, you know what I'm talking about. You know that this is bigger than humans, right? But for people who are just looking at everything face value, you're still dealing with the battle of good and evil in human beings, right? Because there are some human beings on this earth who seek to control other people. It irks their souls to see other people happy, no matter what status of life they're in, right? For a very long time, I have, no, no. For a very long time, I have often really thought about if rich people were actually jealous of poorer people. And I know that may sound like a perplexing thought to even have, but you think about some of these narcissistic people who have never had to work for anything. They've had everything given to them, right? Any sense of accomplishment that they could ever have makes them a DEI, right? People look at DEI. DEIs are more than what you consider people of color getting opportunities just because of their being people of color. People don't think about nepotism like that at all. And we have a lot of nepotistic people. The United States is riddled with nepotism. And we have a lot of these establishment people's kids in office screwing this country, and it doesn't really inspire other people who actually qualify with common sense, who have literally started from the bottom. Like, I really don't think America, the majority of people in American politics should never like really come from like some conglomerate of anything, right? We should be willing to elect Joe, the construction company owner who started from the bottom, digging holes, and then he saved his money, started his own company. He understands how the construction cycles work and how they, play into the economic cycles, right? I want a president like that. I really do. Like, I don't want somebody from no Harvard, Cambridge, HBCU, no elite circles of people. I don't want none of those people as my president. I want a regular person. I want Jesus. Okay? I want Jesus as my president. And if Jesus is not my president, then nobody is worthy. Okay? That's my position right now. Nobody is worthy. But I just wanted to jump on here because I just think this is weird. This is weird. How I think the other assassination wasn't the other attempt, was it a month ago? But this is weird. This is weird. And I mean, obviously, Trump was not hurt, but it does kind of make you wonder, right? And obviously, you have some people on the Democratic side who is claiming that this is a way for Trump to victimize himself for votes. I'm like, really? Really? Christ is king. He's Messiah and King. But I'm just like, are you serious? Like, people are actually going there with this, saying that he's doing this on purpose. They're making narratives about failing in the polls, which I thought Trump was doing really well in the polls, especially after the debate, because more independents were so leaning towards Trump because Kamala just basically presented herself as a puppet. And I think a lot of people are looking at that debate as a setup on Trump. They keep setting Trump up. They keep setting this man up. They can't even, host a fair debate without setting Trump up. Like, it's crazy to me. They cannot win without cheating. That's what it seems like to me. They cannot beat Trump without literally going around the system to cheat, right? Because even with that debate, that was to me a form of cheating. You had Kamala's, aka sorority fellow sorority sister there, right? You had just way too many links to Kamala and the Democratic establishment in that debate. Trump was the only, it was literally three against one. I agree with that assessment. He came into a slaughter, but he didn't get slaughtered. He held his own. You know, the only thing he made a mistake of doing is obviously, I don't know about these Haitians eating dogs. I did a video live stream on it with a Haitian person who was talking about how eating those types of animals were part of their customs and practices, especially those who practice voodoo. So it's not far off to believe that some Haitians, we got to be very, we got to be correct about this. Some Haitians may be in Ohio doing that, right? I have concepts of a plan. That's a problem. Yeah, that's basically Kamala Harris. She has concepts of a plan, right? Because she's not the brains of the operations, right? She probably doesn't even know what's in the plan, right? Because she is a puppet, right? There's somebody else telling her what to say. That's probably why she needed them earrings. Like, we can't have you freezing up and cackling, so let's just give you some condescending points to keep you in this fight, because Trump was going to be bodying her. She knew she was going to get bodied by Trump in that debate. She knew she was going to get bodied by Trump. Trump didn't really have to do a whole lot for Kamala Harris in that debate, because it's like, you're in the office right now, and anything that you say that you're going to do when you're president, you have the opportunity to do it in this capacity. And people are like, well, the vice president, they don't make decisions. It's like, well, if you really a bulldog and you see your administration is going the opposite way of the interests of the American people, that's when I need the bulldog on the mic, right? You got to be going against the establishment to prove to me that you're a person with real convictions. Kamala Harris, for a whole year, I feel like she was just silent. We didn't even hear anything from her until we got into this core cycle again, because she was embarrassing. Like, she was laughing all over the world stage. She got laughed out of Africa when she tried to go in there trying to tell them how they should be embracing LBGTQ and stuff. And Africa was like, if you don't get your weird ass back over there to America with that, you will not tell us how to exist in our own country. You're not going to come over here and imperialize our culture with your debauchery. Africa told Kamala to get the hell on, laughed her ass right back to America. For real. Right? I'm not going to comment on Kamala Harris, background with whatever. Like, you talk about that stuff though. But now that literally no, that's literally what Trump said. I don't know. I have concepts of, I don't know this back and forth that y'all talking about, but I know that, here's the thing too. When it comes down to both of these candidates, neither one of them, for me personally, are talking on the points that I think that Americans really do care about, right? I mean, they're talking on talking points, they're talking on political talking points, but the policy talking points is what I care about, right? And what those policies mean for people, right? The policy versus the politics. And I think in this particular political cycle, people need to be conscious of how those things are different. The politics is the LBGTQ, the racism, the supremacy, all that stuff. That's to get your emotions all inflamed. The policies are what's going to impact your livelihood and your life, right? And so to me, because we're in such an economic crisis in America, I need both of these candidates not to be selling me some American dream that was. I need to be seeing financial mitigation in this country. I need to be hearing plans about that. I need to hear those specific words, actually, financial mitigation, right? Because we are not mitigating how we are managing our finances in this country, and we are screwing up future generations. My kids and anybody who has kids, They are never going to be able to even remotely, and even my 19-year-old daughter right now, it's impossible for her to just go out there and just live by herself, right? Because it's like, it's too expensive. You can't even expect these from these kids. And my daughter work at Amazon full time. So it's like the dream is hurting because we got $35 trillion in debt hanging over our head. And somebody needs to address that. Otherwise, that is being passed on to people who did not even acquire it, had no impact on the decisions of how it was spent at all. Because I don't ever see an ROI on all of this spending, at least not for Americans. I don't see an ROI. Like all this spending that the government has done since Bill Clinton, and I don't see the ROI for America or Americans. Only it's like we have been short squeezed since the Clinton administration in very colorful ways, and both Democrats and Republicans are responsible for that, no matter how you want to toss the coin. They are. They wiped out our middle class with NAFTA. That was bipartisan. They both screwed us over. So you guys think about that. I'm going to pray for everybody. I pray for Donald Trump. They definitely trying to take Trump out of the game. I mean, they giving, I mean, shoot. I mean, shoot. He got gangster credit now. Anytime you try to kill my man's twice, he like Tupac to me. Trump like Tupac and 50 Cent now, right? Even though he didn't take the bullets, right? He dodging bullets. You're a real gangster, Trump. Maybe we need a real gangster running the country. They say he a bully and abrasive. It's like, I don't mind Trump's character at all. I really don't. Trump has been consistent in his character since at least I've been old enough to watch that man. And I respect somebody who is consistent, right? When you talk about people trying to chameleon into what they think people like, have no conviction about who they are, they don't need to be running America. They don't need to be running America, right? They don't, right? You want to, kind of change your operation, from one person to another, right? You talk to black people, you got to use some broken Southern accent. And I'm from Detroit, and you can hear the way I talk, right? I'm a Midwest chick to the core. Shout out to my Midwest people, right? We like to mind our own business and take care of business, right? But I'm not talking like some country bumpkin. I think when black people, we get more expressive and we're kind of talking more slang to each other, it will be like, girl, you need to stop, right? But even still, there's no Southern accent there. It's just a Midwestern accent saying, girl, you need to stop. Like the down south folks used to say, right? This woman don't know who the hell she is. She just know that she wants to be president. And yay for her. But you're not qualified. All right, you guys, you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you for those who have chimed in. If you like content and perspectives like this, don't forget to subscribe and like. And we're going to keep these conversations going. I'm going to pray for everybody. I'm looking forward to God's kingdom. But while we are on this earth dealing with these double talking demons, right now, I know it's going to sound very, very bizarre and weird, but it's like, the one that they trying to kill looked the best to me. I'm sorry. I'm like, shoot, they trying to take that dude out. I'm going to vote for him. Because it's like, why y'all trying to kill him? Y'all looking mad suspect trying to kill Trump like this. It only makes people like me like, we got to vote for that guy. They trying to kill him. Go for the guy they trying to kill. All right? Just go for the guy they trying to kill. That's all I got to say. Because at this point, they're more invested in this guy not being here to be able to do whatever he can do for America than him either winning or losing the presidency. They're like, we don't want the reality of the loss or the win. Let's just take him out. I mean, this is crazy. And to me, people be like, you sound really ignorant. He's a felon. You know, how you gonna vote for a felon? I'm like, they trying to kill this man. Why they trying to kill him? Like my whole thing is, you know, why are they so threatened by Trump that somebody is coordinating an effort to get this man out of the equation completely? Y'all got to think about that. It really does make you kind of want to say, like, that guy really must be trying to save America. He must really be trying. I don't see Kamala Harris taking bullets for her beliefs. Ain't nobody trying to take her ass out the game at all. Like, it is specifically and it's always been Trump, 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 from these prosecutions, weaponizing the justice system. They have done every single thing in the book, literally, down to assassination attempts at this point, to keep this man from being president of the United States. The world is crazy, y'all. The world is crazy. But we gonna keep it moving and keep our prayers up and see how this demon show go. You guys have a wonderful day. Bye.